as much as they throw at me, because guess what? I don't need to catch it, okay? Because I don't believe most of the stuff that's out there right now. And the reality is if you don't do your own research, if you're not your own detective, and if you are in a state of fear, then you are not going to think logically. You are going to throw yourself and your family off a cliff. That's what anxiety does. When you have anxiety long enough and strong enough, okay, it's going to scar you to the point of despair and depression. And that's what people are getting into. You got to learn how to stay connected to your breath, everybody, okay? The best gift that I could give you is if I could get you just to put a slight smile on your face and stay connected to your breath and not talk about anything negative. Now, how do you do that when there's a handful of people controlling the world and they feel it's harvest time? Well, guess what? You stay away from them. You stay away from their information, and you listen to logical, scientific information. That's what you do. And there's enough of it out there, but you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it on the same path that the majority go. Okay? Because you got to understand something right now. Okay. So here's the deal. Corporations are allowed to stay open. Small family businesses are not. I smell a rat here. Okay? I smell a rat, and I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you right now, if they call another COVID, open up your businesses. If they call another COVID, you know what? Don't do anything to jeopardize your future. And you know what? I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize another person's health. I really like how people say to me, will say to me, you know what, Dr. Wolfe, you're jeopardizing people's health. I want to tell you something. I have helped millions and millions of people, and I will continue to. And I mean millions. I'm not talking about tens of thousands. I'm talking about millions through our library, through my free trainings, through my Q&As. So don't come on to here and tell me that me having an opinion, not wanting to wear a mask because I don't believe in a mask for myself. I don't believe in the 6-foot rule. Thank you very much. And I will not ever lock myself in my home. I'll be in my home as long as I want, and then I'll be outside. Okay? Nobody's ever going to tell me what to do. You know what? I've got enough background and enough training and enough logic in this brain of mine, because I retrained my brain. I own my brain. Do you own your brain? You'll know if you own your brain, because if you owned your brain, you would not have a virus. If you owned your brain, you wouldn't be eating toxic, foods, and you wouldn't be taking in toxic information that causes anxiety and inflammation. And that's the God's truth. And some people don't like me saying these things. But the reality is, you are created by God Almighty. You are so powerful. You haven't even tapped into your power yet. You know, they did a study where they took fleas, and fleas can jump 3 to 4 feet, and they took them and they put them into a 10-ounce glass jar with a glass roof. The fleas, they left them in there for only 4 hours. The fleas kept hitting the top. Now, not that fleas live a long time, mind you, but the reality is when they let the fleas go, they only jump 10 inches for the rest of their life. And I'm telling you right now that 99.99999% of the population is only jumping 10 inches. And you know what? We have infinite possibility when we go in and we weed out, dysfunctional beliefs that cause us fear and anxiety. You know what? I don't fear anything. Okay. Oh, do I make mistakes? Yes. Okay. Am I always right? No. But I know that I'm right for myself. I'm not telling anybody what to do. But the reality is guess what? I don't care if the whole world I really don't care if the whole world wears a mask, locks himself down, does the 6-foot rule, and lines up for the vaccination. I do care, but understand, I can't care for things I don't change. I will not do any of that, and I never will. And I'm allowed to have my own opinion. And then people will say, yeah, but Dr. Wolfe, you know what? You have a responsibility because you're a health practitioner. Now there's the goofiest thing I've ever heard in my life. What about all the medical doctors that are going around vaccinating that have never, ever done any research on it? And when you read the insert, it actually can kill you. Oh, there you go. I've never sold or told anyone to do anything that would even give any negative symptoms, less kill them. So understand something. And you know what? Enough of this too. You're not a real doctor. you're not a medical doctor. Well, I don't want to be a medical doctor. I'm a natural health practitioner. Okay, I have a doctorate in natural medicine and I have one in acupuncture. I'm not pretending to be anything I'm not. I'm really good at detoxification and nutrition, and I'm really good. My specialty is emotions and dealing with emotional problems with people. So the reality is, if you want to create a perfect day, you come to me. If you want other things, you go to medical doctors like chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and drugs. I work for the people. I do not work for a corporation. And I'm not corporately owned or corporately tied to anyone. And I'm only involved in one organization called the World Organization of Natural Medicine. And guess what? That is the only organization I will ever be with, because they only demand one thing, and that I have to be totally naturopathic. Okay? I cannot cross the line. And I have to live with total integrity, which I'm okay to do, because that is my personal goal to have as much integrity as I possibly can in this lifetime. Now, opinions. Everybody's got different opinions. You've got a different opinion than I do. And understand that. I allow you to have that opinion. You know what? I will allow you to have any opinion that you want. Okay? When people come to me, they come to me because they believe that I might know something that can make them happier. Oh, healthier? Yeah, healthier. But the reality is we do everything because we want to feel better. We want to feel joy. We want to feel bliss. We want to have harmony. We want to have peace of mind. Well, you're never going to have peace of mind unless you're going to do something like, and you don't have to do my training, for God's sakes, you don't. But unless you're going to do something like a whole life coach, intensive training, emotional training, your life is always going to be chaotic. It's going to be up and down and all around, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, because you're not going to be the main driver of your brain, okay? Because you have to retrain the brain. And understand something. Why should there be anything in your brain that causes you stress and anxiety? There's nothing in mine. If there's something I need to do, I'll make that phone call. I'll talk to that person. I'll deal with that issue. If I feel I have pain in my body because it's a GPS, that's all pain is. It's a GPS telling me I'm off track on an emotional or physical level. I'm going to go back on track. But what are you going to do if you don't know how to get back on track? That's what I'm here for. If you come on, you're here because I'm trying to show you that you cannot attack the body and think you can get it well. You cannot poison the body and think you're going to get it well. It's just not going to happen. And the reality is that out there, I try not to talk about it, but you know what? People say, why do you talk about it? Well, because it's part of health, a healthy mind, a healthy environment. So make sure that your environment is healthy in your home and in your mind and everywhere else you go. And understand this. People that are fear mongers, people that create anxiety, you have to eliminate them from your life. And understand this. All right, I've had 3 calls today about emotional abuse in homes. 3 calls today. Yeah, I know. It's just after the weekend. Well, I never had this before COVID. And I had 3 calls today. Oh, and they were all women, okay, about emotional abuse and 1 physical abuse. So understand something. My purpose is not to be here to pretend I'm a medical doctor. So if I have one more person that comes on going, you're not a doctor, I'm just going to banish you from Facebook. So that's it. I'm done. All right? I am a natural health practitioner doctor, and I earned it. And if you don't like it, can't do anything for you. That's just your opinion. The reality is I deserve what I have. I worked for what I have. And I'm going to share that with everybody who wants it. And your opinion is allowed to be different than mine. And mine is allowed to be different than yours. And why can't we just come together and unite as a family? You know, at the end of the day, whether you want to believe this or not, it's not about race, not about religion, it's not about color, it's not about anything. It's about love. It's about, honestly, unconditional love for each other. Yes, we're going to hold the line. If you don't believe in something or somebody's abusive, you're not going to let them into your space. I get that. But just understand something. The same people that say they want to save us are the same terrorists that are poisoning our water, our air, and our food and our minds. Okay, and why do you think they call it programming? Why do you think they call it channel? What channel do you want to go to? So let's get started. We got 50 questions. I'll never be able to do it all in one day. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do 3 questions a day that come in. I don't know. I have to do them randomly. Drake, we're also going to be doing on YouTube, we're going to be putting on our frequently asked questions, right? So the ones I did today are going to go up there, right? In the do-it-yourself, the frequently asked questions, make sure. And we're going to do a frequently asked questions. I'll answer 3 questions every day. So that gets rid of 15 of them because I can't keep up. And I don't want to cut anybody out because you know what? We are family. We're all family. And I will try to answer these questions as clearly and without an agenda behind them, because the day that you understand that there is a hidden genius, a hidden practitioner deep within inside of you will be the day that your whole life changes. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Don't you dare let anybody out there scare you anymore. Okay? That's all they want to do is scare you, and they want to bully you. And I want to say one last thing. Okay? All right? Okay. The day that you do not give authority over you, and that might sound a little bit contradicting myself, but the day that you stop giving authority over you will be the day that you take your life back. All right? Any of the people that you voted in, because I don't vote, any of the people that are out there that have become police or anyone else, they don't have authority over me. You know, if I break the law, they do, but they don't have authority over me. I'm going to live a free man, and I'm going to live a free man on this planet. And you know what? You deserve your freedom too. You deserve to have peace of mind, and you deserve to be free of their anxiety and their terrorism. And they're not going to stop. There's just a handful of psycho people that get together, and you know what? They've outsmarted all of us. Go figure. Well, they're not going to outsmart me anymore. Let's get started. Okay? All right. So send in your live questions now to Facebook, YouTube, Intercom, first come, first serve. I will do those, but I need to see if I can get these done today. Just know this. Check out our personal treatment and training if you'd like one of my master trainers to come to you and teach you Wolfe non-surgical, how to create the perfect day on an emotional and nutritional level. Okay? Go to my Doc of Detox events page and you can find out what our events are. This coming Wednesday, September the 2nd, I'm going to be going through the 6-day Advanced Water Fasting Challenge Preview Q&A. That's going to be about an hour to an hour and a half long. I'm going to tell you how to do the most powerful water fast. And look if you're scared of water fasting, this is an advanced water fast. I'm going to teach you that you can do energy medicine supplementation, not supplements, but energy medicine supplementations that doesn't turn on your digestive tract and will increase the actual process of the fast when it comes to autophagy, which is eating the dead cells and things that shouldn't be in your body, and releasing stem cells 1,000% better than any other fast that I know of. And I'm going to be showing you other tricks that will unleash the power to heal. Okay, and then on Wednesday, September the 9th, The Truth About Calcium with Jay Lee. And that's it. Our upcoming courses, I will be teaching the Whole Life Coach Certification Emotional Nutritional course online. That's coming sometime closer to January, okay? And January the 9th, we have a complete certification here. Starts on the 9th, and it goes to the 21st. And listen, all our classes here are small. So if you're thinking of wanting to join that class, you'll want to do it. Our classes fill up way before. So we just put that up last week. So if you've wanted to do it, you want to move and do it because it will fill up fast. February of 2021, we're hoping to be in Ixtapa in Mexico at the World Training and Healing Center doing a complete certification. Let's start. Jacqui, hello, Doc. What are your views on bioidentical hormones for menopause, natural progesterone? Natural progesterone and estradiol. Now, first of all, bioidentical hormones for menopause, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you something. Let's put it this way. I want you to talk to your medical doctor about that. That is not something that I do. And if it was for my wife for my family, I wouldn't be doing bioidentical hormones. I just wouldn't. I'll tell you right now, most women don't understand that they do them when they go into menopause because of inflammation caused by constipation. And I can prove that. You get me a woman that's going into menopause and show me that her hormones are totally out of whack, and show me that she's having night sweats, fevers, hot flashes, okay, can't sleep, aches and pains all over, and then you give me 4 to 6 weeks and I'll have her turned around. I won't have her turned around. She'll have herself turned around, and I'll tell you why, because the human body's amazing, and once you know how to detoxify it and get rid of the physical blocks and bring down the infection that creates the inflammation, and the inflammation creates the fever, and also, believe it or not, okay, here's the deal. Hormonal imbalances are mainly caused because of bowel problems. That's right. And I go through that many times with everyone, because your pelvis is like a soup bowl, and it's collecting all that waste in there. I mean, we have been so conditioned to poison ourselves, okay? And you can use natural progesterone. I think that's great. Go ahead and do it. I don't carry those things because I don't believe we need it. I believe that a whole plant-based diet and doing the right energy medicine supplementation, okay, all right, is going to just fix all of that. Okay, very rare do I need to kick anything else in, okay? Understand something. If mankind can sell it, they're going to sell it, all right? And if mankind can sell something that they can continually keep selling instead of empowering you, mankind's going to do it, because mankind's not that kind, as far as I'm concerned. So you can tell that sometimes I just don't really understand, you know. I can't understand. I mean, this is an earth family. I can't understand even how we got here, why we poison each other. We poison each other with our words. We poison each other in the food, in the air, in the water. And guess what? And it's all like nobody can do anything about it. Well, that's why you got to mind your own business, and you got to take back your life and create a perfect day for yourself. And then once you've done that, then you do it for your family. And that's the reality. So can you take your house back? Can you take your fridge back? Can you take your cupboards back? Can you take your mind back? Lindsay, what is your opinion on colonics? I answered that on the one a day I did earlier, but I will tell you that colonics, yeah, they'll get the cork out. As far as I'm concerned, colonics can be used in an emergency, and colonics are mainly used by people who have bad eating habits and lack tone in their large intestine. So I'm not telling you that you have to change your bad eating habits, because getting a colonic reduces the toxic waste, and you don't want to absorb it back into your body, do you? No. So if you're not going to change your diet and get on a perfect day diet, if you're not going to do exercise to help to create tone in your large intestine, okay, and if you're not going to want to look after yourself, then I think colonics are great. And the other thing too is if you're blocked up and you can't go, they're great. But would I go for a colonic every week? No. It would be like having a crutch and using that crutch or that cane continually. If I use a cane to help this hip, this other hip's going to go eventually. If I were to get colonics every week, then do I have to watch my diet? Would I become a little lazier? Okay, I prefer to do the daily cleansing tea because there's no laxatives, there's no stimulants, and I'd prefer to see somebody doing the ultimate coffee enema, or if you are traveling, to do the daily cleansing tea caps. But I'd really prefer if you would just start eating more of a whole plant-based diet and got some tone into that large intestine abdominal area, which is the 85% of your immune system. Ella, hi, Dr. Darrell. Why do the knees get brown? Get brown? Oh, well, that's toxicity. Okay, I'll tell you in a second. Without pain, just darker, melanin in comparison to the rest of the body. Well, because I'm going to tell you something. It's toxins. Now, if you take a look at a river and it's going straight, that's great. But if the river has a bend in it, where's the garbage collect? There you go. So you're going to find out that can happen even on the ankles, and that can happen on the knees. Okay? And it is toxicity. All right. You take a look at people, they'll have brown circles under their eyes when the liver starts to get backed up. And then they'll have black circles under their eyes when the liver really gets backed up because now the blood is lacking in oxygen. Okay. All right. Philip, does the structure unit remove radiation from the water? It doesn't remove the radiation. It changes the frequency of the radiation so that the water does not harm you. Okay. So here's the deal. Everything you eat, everything you drink, that you put in your body leaves the body. Isn't that something? Only the frequency stays behind. And that's why somebody who eats donuts will have the frequency of a donut and eventually look like a donut. Puffy, won't they? Okay. And they'll have a hole in their head too. No, I'm kidding. So the reality is that if I eat like an apple, it's high vibrational, isn't it? So you bring your vibration up or you can bring your vibration down. And believe it or not, it's light. We are light energy magnetic beings, okay, and we feed off of that, and that's why all these elite, I don't know what they are, these I don't know what these people are who think that they're going to take down the world right now, but you know, they made computers and they made them with blue light, and that poisons the eyes. Blue light for LED lighting, blue light for your TV, blue light for your phones, blue light that comes off all the games. That's why everybody's eyes are burning, because your brain burns first before your eyes do. Okay. And where was I going with this? So when you run water through a structure unit, it does not filter. It changes the frequency so that bad bacteria are not bad. Heavy metals do not stay within the body or create poison. The chemicals do not create poison. I know it's hard to believe, but what about rain? Rain comes down, it's full of heavy metals. Thank you, Bill. And when the rain comes down, it's been structured from the atmosphere. Why isn't it killing the birds, bees, flowers, trees? And why does everything jump for joy still as if it was 500 years ago? Because structuring was created by our Creator, and we've duplicated it with this structure unit. So go ahead, drink filtered water of any water you want, but make sure you structure it, because it hydrates into the body 1,000% better. And Kangen water and any electrical unit is not structured water. Okay. Let me see, where are we here? Does the structure unit remove radiation? It won't remove it, but it'll change the actual frequency on it so that it is non-toxic to the body. And like I tell everyone, so get yourself a water purifier, but make sure you structure your water, okay? Kim, I'm literally freaking out right now. I had surgery for a prolapse on March the 11th. They did a hysterectomy, kept ovaries, bladder lift with mesh, and reconstructive. I am 50, don't smoke, eat all organic, exercise fast. Just know this, though, okay? Just know this. She would have never had to have that if she wouldn't have had constipation. And understand something, because of adulteration, which means that almost all parents are adulterated. All parents think that if you go poop once a day, that's good. If you go poop every 2 days, it's good. If you go poop every 3 days, it's good. It all depends what the family does. Meanwhile, we should have 2 to 3 a day. The reality is that I had 3 bowel movements, and I'll tell you something right now. All I've done is drank today, and I haven't eaten today. And tonight I'm going to have a big, large salad, and I think I'm going to have an organic bean patty. And tomorrow I'm still going to have 2 or 3 bowel movements. So the reality is my bowel movements are bigger and longer. And the reality is because they're fluffier, because it's made out of live foods and fiber. Whereas, you know, you can eat a big piece of chicken and you can have, chicken or pasta, and you're not going to have much of a bowel movement, but there's not much vibration or life in that either, is there? Listen, you want even life in your bowel movements. Okay, so bladder lift with mesh. Well, why would you need a bladder lift? Well, you need a bladder lift because your large intestine was falling down, or the large intestine was leaking waste. Because let me ask you a question. If the bladder was falling down and it couldn't keep itself up, then it lacked tone. So why would it lack tone? Well, it would lack tone if it was poisoned. If you poison the tissue, then the tissue is going to lose its tone and it's going to fall down. I'm 50, don't smoke, eat all organic, exercise, fast. And now that you've had that surgery, if you don't, you don't have to come to us, so I'm not telling you have to, but if you don't, after you have that surgery, that causes more scar tissue than you had in the first place. So you've got a ton of scar tissue, crystallization, and calcium now down in that pelvis of yours, because that's what happens when surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. So now after that heals, if you don't get somebody to go in there with something and lovingly pull that scar tissue apart and put the calcium back into the bones and melt that crystallization, you're going to have a block between your legs. Okay, overweight, not on meds, but your talk today terrified me. I'm upset. Any advice? I have a 5-year-old daughter, also 24-year-old, and a 21-year-old that I homeschool. We don't wear masks, no vax family. I only agreed to the operation because the prolapse was 4 and couldn't be fixed. Otherwise is okay. You're still going to have to go in and deal with the issue in your tissue, which is scar tissue and displaced calcium because of all that inflammation from the surgery. But understand, your pelvis was inflamed for years. And I will tell you something, and please do not get upset at me, or do not be upset with yourself. You're going to be fine. But the reality is, we could have gotten that bladder back up, lifted it back up, gotten it toned, and gotten everything back in place, because I'm going to tell you something. Once you get adhesions in your large intestine, small intestine, in your pelvis, that's like scar tissue. So you got to lovingly go in and pull that apart. You can do belly button therapy. You can do the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, but you want to do the Wolfe non-surgical, because guess what? It's beef jerky. So we can lovingly pull it apart, allow the blood, allow the lymph, allow the energy to go in, and guess what? Scar tissue turns into connective tissue right away. It's all about vibration. So check out personal treatment and training in my library, and then also go to the A to Z Masterclass, okay, that's in my library. Click on there and you can have it for free. Click on there and read from page 3 to 40, and guess what? You're going to go, oh my God. And I'll show you the whole domino effect from the large intestine and how it's created all that mess. And understand something, 99% of the time it's the large intestine. I don't care if you tell me you're not constipated, because you are. And it doesn't mean you don't go to the bathroom. It means you're reabsorbing your own waste. Screen door, submarine, guess what? We're all going down, okay? And understand something. There is not another organ in the human body that the pharmaceutical medical system attacks more. And I'm telling you, that's 85% of your immune system. The Royal Society of Medicine in London did a major study years ago and said 85% of all disease comes from the large intestine, and I believe even more comes from the large intestine, but 85 is good enough with me. It's close enough. But I will tell you that if we don't look after that large intestine, then it's going to look after us in the wrong way, okay? Yeah, so you're still going to need to see if you can see a Wolfe non-sculpturous. You need to start doing pelvic activation squats. Go to my DIY guide in my library. Do the squats. Get a pelvic expander. If you want, you can call Dean Saleo out of United States. He makes them for us. We don't make any money. It's where you put your leg up, one leg, let's say your right leg up, and then you hang your left leg. And most people can't do that. They got to put a chair there because they feel like they're going to tear out their pelvis because it's so calcified and scar tissue. So it's like you're going to rip it out, right? So until you can get the blood supply back in there and you get that beautiful connective tissue, you can't hang your leg. But eventually you will. So start off with baby steps and love yourself well. There's a lot of other things. I would suggest you get a consultation. Go to my website, click on consultations, and then pick the consultant that you like. And I go through every case history that comes in. And then I help to build it with them. Then they'll call you. They'll send you an audio of the 1-hour consult. And you've got lifetime consultations free from us. We will continually help and support you for no extra costs. Dixie, I got a flu vaccine every year for years. So what can I use for a detox? Well, right off the bat, I'd be looking at, you've got to clean out your colon. So I'd look at the daily cleansing tea. I'd look at, which is like, it looks like this. I always do this. I would do this morning and night. It tastes like iced tea. Costs about the same as a small cup of coffee. okay, or medium cup, depends, I guess, where you live and what kind of coffee you're buying. And I would also do Tummy Love, okay, because Tummy Love will help to get rid of heavy metals because of the fulvic acid in it, okay. But if you're really toxic, then what I would do is I would get Tummy Love, and I would also get fulvic acid concentrate so that it goes in, because fulvic acid concentrate is the best heavy metal remover in the human body. And then I'd look at doing the ultimate coffee enema, and I would also be on the show this Wednesday and watch for when we do the 6-day advanced water fasting challenge, because there's nothing better than that. Why not take all your energy and go in and create stem cells and do autophagy and get rid of, okay, what does autophagy mean? You're eating up scar tissue. You're eating up mutated cells. You're eating up cells that are damaged. Now, where do we hold most of our heavy metals? In scar tissue. I bet you didn't know that. Okay, so we hold most of our inflammation and heavy metals in scar tissue. Then second to that, we hold it in fat. So people that are skinny with inflammation and heavy metals are going to have tons of scar tissue. So people that can make lots of fat, they will store a lot of the heavy metals and the inflammation, which is infection and toxin, in the fat cells, okay? All right, but the most concentrated of heavy metals and inflammation goes into your scar tissue, all right? Dixie, I have Raynodes, a condition resulting in discoloration of the fingers and or toes after exposure to changes in temperature or emotional events. That's right. So understand something, Dixie. Believe it or not, you are always kind of dripping adrenaline, cortisol, and histamine into your body, creating an acidic condition. So even when you think that you're calm and rested, you're always like, your subconscious is always waiting for the shoe to drop, okay? And understand, as soon as you have a little bit of temperature change, if your fingers, okay, start to discolor and they start to have pain, that means you already have so much crystallization and scar tissue in your arms and up in your brachial plexus and in your neck, okay? So the more physical blocks you have in your neck, your brachial plexus, which is your shoulders, and in your arms, then just think, if I stress out, when you stress out, okay, what happens is, right, the blood flow and the adrenaline goes to your arms and legs, and you're supposed to run. But because, especially with COVID, we are now 5 times more stressed out than we've ever been than we were before COVID. 5 times. I mean, that's like 500%, guys. So the reality is we're continually making more crystallization, more scar tissue formation, and more displaced calcium, trying to buffer down the pH, because that's why we're pulling all that calcium, to buffer down the pH of all that acidity. So now you're becoming the cement woman. So you've got all these blocks in here, so you're cutting the circulation down, and the circulation that you believe is normal is abnormal, because just like the hands of time, you know, one of those hourglasses where the sand's coming down, you know what? You think normal's normal. It's like a guy who goes to the bathroom and it's kind of like, it's harder for him to pee. He thinks that's normal because he's been doing it for so long. I mean, you should be peeing like a racehorse, guys, at any age. And the thing is, it's scar tissue formation, calcification, and crystallization. Doesn't matter whether it's your penis or it's your arm. It's all about circulation. It's all about microcirculation. And you know what? You can tell how long somebody's going to live by how good their microcirculation is. And your microcirculation makes up 74% of your circulation in your body. Now, so the reality is, if you don't want to start drinking more water, structured water, if you don't want to get on the whole plant-based diet, if you don't want to get a Wolfe non-surgical therapist to get in here and get rid of all those knots, and if you don't want to take like SAC calcium to get the calcium back into your bones, I mean, totally repair your bones. That's what this will do. And it's the only product in the world that'll do it. Then guess what? It's just going to be a slow downhill. You know what? I will never compare myself to the average person. And I will never compare myself to what medical system believes is a healthy person for that age, because they change that every 5 to 10 years to their convenience, okay? And things aren't looking too good for people that are around my age, which is 64 years old. Most people are already, going into retirement, or they've got aches and pains, or they're lacking energy, right? Yes or no? Yawns, Y-U-A-N-S. About clapping, are there any specific areas to clap for whole body detox? Yes, there is. Okay. Specifically concerning chronic Lyme co-infections, thanks. Well, let's forget about that part. Let's talk about whole body clapping. So whole body clapping is your inner arm, your wrists, okay? All right? Your knees and your ankles, okay? And then you can clap the bottom of your feet. And I will be going through that when we get to the clapping masterclass. So get your clappers, practice now. Why not practice? Why not break your clapper in, guys? Get yourself a clapper, break it in, really move it around and get it nice and, so it really knows how to, right? And let's get clapping. And, a lot of people won't want to do it, but that person, let me put it this way. You know what? When I was younger, my parents thought, and they taught me, that everything I ever wanted, I would get my love from the world, I'd get my health from the world, I'd get all the money I needed from the world if I was just a good boy. Yeah, like that's going to work. You know what? The day you decide that it's all up to you, and you take total responsibility for your life, and you understand that there are no systems out there that truly support, okay? Because you need to support your own system. All right, all your system. You're like, first of all, why don't we start with our digestive system? Why don't we start with our nervous system? Why don't we start with, I think you get the picture. Christina, I had fibroids and I had a hysterectomy. It made me have a prolapse. I had fibroids. Now, everybody, let's understand what a fibroid is. And here we go again. Where's fibroids? In the pelvis. I mean, you know what? I'm just right, guys. I'm right. That's it. It's all. I mean, I've got this. It's 40 years. And you know what? Even if I'm the dumbest natural health doctor around, 40 years of seeing the same thing over and over again, you get to clue in, okay? Christina, I had fibroids. Now, fibroids are caused because of what? It's called fibrin. The body is sending tons of fibrin down to her pelvis because her pelvis is inflamed. Why is it inflamed? Because it's infected because of a dysfunctional large intestine. I'm telling you the God's truth here, all right? So now the fiber is going to continually grow until somebody gets a handle on the large intestine, reduces the infection, and reduces the inflammation. So now she's going to have a prolapse. Why? Well, because with all that scar tissue and webbing everywhere, do you think it's stopping the circulation? Do you think it's stopping the circulation? So she's going to have a prolapse, okay? The doctor said it was as big as a 6-month fetus and a few small ones. It started with my 3 teenage daughters, and husband were not respecting me, girls not studying, husband wasn't being great at the time. I believe women get overstressed with family when it is your second heart. What can I do? Okay, here's the deal. I hope you got this, everyone. Well, I'll just say what she was talking about. Listen, sweetheart, here's the deal. You got to know that it's okay to totally love, honor, and respect yourself and demand that from everyone else. You got to know that your husband is disrespecting you, and that's why the rest of the kids are disrespecting you. Your kids wouldn't disrespect you unless your husband disrespected you. Your husband wouldn't disrespect you if you weren't disrespected when you were younger. So why did you pick a disrespecting husband for a husband? Why did you do that? Because like attracts like, and we get used to certain things. There are so many couples that when I see them, they actually believe they have a loving relationship, and it's so toxic. If you got to understand, it's not like, so how many families have you lived with? Oh, I've lived with 150. I've lived with 50. No, you've lived with one. So you only have one comparison, and that's what you call love. And understand something. When we understand that we need to totally unconditionally love ourselves, fill our heart up, this is not about being selfish. This is being selfish enough to know what you need And you're telling the world, here's my billboard. What is my billboard? That I want total respect. Okay? As I respect you, I want you to respect me. As I love you, I want you to love me. As I honor you, I want you to honor me. Now, most relationships, sorry guys, most relationships, women aren't getting that. And I'm telling you right now, this goes back like 5,000 years, and it's going to be in my I Am Woman. And 5,000 years ago, religion decided to take women and take their power away. And that's all I'm going to say. I didn't say all religion. I just said religion did, and I will back up my information when I release that masterclass. Well, why would we be here? You know what? 5,000 years ago, they started to make women against men and men against women, and it's just like this. And why would that be? We need to be interconnected spirits, all right? So I would tell you to do my whole life coach, not whole life coach, but I'd tell you to do my Braveheart course. It's free. Go into my library, click on the Braveheart guide, go through the emotional course, and do that once or twice, and then come and take a whole life coach certification, all right? I mean, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's like $5,500, but it'll be the best $5,500 you've ever made in your life. How would you like to be free? How would you like to know that it's okay to honor yourself and to tell other people to stop dishonoring you? And let me tell you something. You know what? We wouldn't be in this mess right now if everybody loved themselves and honored themselves, because who allows, these psychos to actually disrespect us like this, disrespect our planet, disrespect our children? No. You know what? We have been taught from the minute we get here to do hate programs. There's only love programs and hate programs. As soon as you get rid of the hate programs, you're going to unconditionally love yourself, and you're going to demand that from everybody else. And if they don't want to do that, then that person can leave. That person can leave. I only want people in my life that want to unconditionally love themselves. And do you know what that means? That means that when I make a mistake, I'm going to learn from it. I'm not going to put myself in judgment jail so I can really mess myself up, so I can mess everybody else up around me. Okay? All right. Yans, about clapping, are there any? Okay, we did that already. Christina, okay, we already did that too. Just know this, Christina, that if you got that fibroid taken out, you've got one massive scar tissue inside your pelvis, and you'll probably have hip replacements due to all the inflammation from the surgery, and your bowel's still probably leaking waste into your pelvis, and it just leaks out into your hips. That's why we get hip problems. We get hip problems, and we need hip surgery because we're pooping into our pelvis, and the infection causes the inflammation, and that spilleth over into the hips. And then guess what? People go, oh my God, you need hip surgery. There's no cartilage left. And that's not true. It's calcified. And that's why we'll give you a money back guarantee that the first treatment we do will change your life. And you'll see that, yeah, there's more work to do. You got to change your mind. You got to change your diet. And remember something. If you want a new reality, get ready to change your parts of your personality, because they're not you. They're someone else. And somebody else gave you hate programs you don't even know you're running because they're in your subconscious. And you don't even know that your subconscious is 90% of your brain, and it runs programs, and that's all it does. And it doesn't care if they're killing you or if they're healing you. They're just running them. Okay? Sound like anybody you know? Okay. Let me see here. Nadia, how much does it cost for treatments? Treatments are $150 an hour. And how much is it for a personal treatment and training? Well, figure it this way. You're going to come for 35 hours, and it's $150 an hour. If you stay in the condo, it's going to cost you $125 in the condo. It's a beautiful condo. And if you're more than a couple and you're using 2 rooms, it's around $150. You've got about $45,000 in energy medicine equipment, and it overlooks the beauty of the Okanagan Lake and the vineyards. And yeah, it's well worth it. We're priced that we will change your life. All right. What are you worth? That's what I always tell people. What are you worth? Betty, how can I? Oh, and if you want to know more about personal treatment and training, just go into my guide. the personal treatment and training guide in the library. And you can also call me extension 5, and I'll find out and we'll create the proper treatment and training for you, or just a treatment protocol. We have 3 people here, 2 from overseas and 1 from America right now. And they're here for anywhere from 10 to 20 hours worth of treatment. So they're not getting trained. And then we have also a mother and a daughter here that are getting treatment and training. Okay. Betty, how can I get your products in Barbados? We ship there. We have 3 fulfillment houses across the United States, so you get your products fast and easy. And we also have fulfillment houses in Canada. Lenny, can you share how you would guide someone to heal arrhythmia? Well, first of all, arrhythmia is a problem with the rate of rhythm of the heartbeat, everybody. And it's gasping usually for oxygen or for calcium. That's right. So believe it or not, there's a video that we'll play, and I'll actually play it for you. And I'll play it as a 1 a day, okay? Remind me, write it down. Where we'll actually show you that ions of calcium, when you feed it to the heart, it beats properly. And then as soon as you take away the ions of calcium, the heart stops. So we know that calcium is so important. It's the most important nutrient for information, communication in the human body, to the mitochondria, RNA, DNA, to every cell in the body, okay? We also know to keep your heart running. Now understand something. When you've got arrhythmia, you've got an acidic mind and maybe an acidic diet. That's it, okay? Your heart, okay, does not like high acid. So the reality is, if you're terrorizing yourself all the time, then and dumping a lot of adrenaline, cortisol, and histamine in, you know that you've got an acid pH, which means you're burning up minerals and you're also burning up oxygen. And if you have an acidic diet, which is your new and improved diet, and it's not a whole plant-based diet, and if you've backed up your bowels and you're leaking waste into yourself, so just know this. To get rid of arrhythmia, that's easy. That's easy to do. Okay? So I just need to talk to somebody. You'll usually find the person can be underweight and totally stressed out, or they're overweight. Okay? But they're definitely not on the perfect day diet, that's for sure, because you wouldn't have arrhythmia. Lisa, any advice for toe walkers? I have two sons who walk on their toes. Well, the reality is if they walk on their toes, it's basically because they're probably crystallizing, and they've got scar tissue and calcification, even though they're younger, around their heels. They can't put their feet flat. So why don't you give me a call, Lisa? And then I just need to know a little bit more about your sons. And the reality is we could have 2 sugar junkies here. Okay? Randy. And also today we showed how to treat plantar fasciitis, and that'll be going up into Drake. That's going to go up into the do-it-yourself guide. And, all right, the plantar fasciitis and the TMJ. Make sure it goes up into the do-it-yourself guide, and it goes on the do-it-yourself videos on YouTube. All right? Okay, Randy, can age spots be reversed? Yeah, they're actually liver spots, and it's actually toxicity, and it's actually a fungus. All right? So somebody has fungus. You know, like here, look at so I'm 64, and I have 2 here that are really light. So it shows that I should do some more liver cleansing, right? But also, I won't say that my diet was perfect when I was younger, but the more brown spots you have on you, the more backed up your liver can be, and the more fungus and mold you have, okay? They're not sunspots. They're not age spots. You're just a moldy, oldie, goldie, okay? All right. And you can get rid of them. And clapping will even help, like on the area if you want. That'll help as well, but we got to go to the colon and the liver, and we got to get rid of the sugar, okay? Randy, thank you. Descula, hello, Dr. Darrell. Any advice for hair loss? Okay. If you go to the do-it-yourself videos, I show that, don't I? Hair Restore. Yeah, it's in the do-it-yourself videos. And if you go to my library again on Doc of Detox, click on the do-it-yourself video and go in there and watch the hair restore video. Okay, I'll be 64 and I clap. Okay, I clap it almost every night. And so first I use this bumpy edge and I go all around my head first, and I do it until it feels really warm and just buzzing, like, you know, I really did it. Then I go in with the flat side, and then I'll do it again. And then after I do that, then I work my neck, and then I work my face. That takes me about 45 minutes. And I'll do that every night before bed and sleep like a kitten. I'm telling you, it really is amazing. Amber, is clapping used in Chinese medicine? Absolutely. Alora, can you reverse diabetes? Adult onset diabetes is reversible, and juvenile diabetes in most cases are just manageable. Managing them to the point that you don't have to lose your limbs or lose your eyes, okay? That you can be healthy if you watch what you're doing. But the problem is with diabetics is they think they have a ticket to ride, okay? So that they can just do their insulin. And it's just like people with a gallbladder. They'll get their gallbladder cut out, and now they don't have a gallbladder pain when they start eating too much fatty, greasy foods and they don't eat right. But now they're going to they could end up with colon cancer. So with diabetes, now you can just give yourself some insulin and just keep on doing the sugar, and then guess what? You're just going to crystallize and lose your eyes. You're going to lose your legs. Antoinette, I wonder if there's a way to reverse this. My mom is on the list for a hip replacement and is bone to bone and is in a lot of pain, but I'm not sure if mom would be open to look into other options. I'll tell you what, you call me, and just a few things that we could do for your mother while she's at home right now, we could prove to her that there's a very good chance that she will not have to go to surgery. And even if she does go to surgery, why don't we reduce the pain by 80, 90% and give her relief, because the pain is a killer. You know, some people, they have such pain for so long, they don't even want to live anymore, and that's a shame. There's the shame. I'm not telling you not to go to surgery. I'm telling you to master pain. Don't let pain master you. Kathy, how do I heal a hiatal hernia? A hiatal hernia? Okay. First of all, you can do baking soda when you start to get the acid problem. That'll help. A teaspoon of baking soda with 10 ounces of water. I'm going to put on these glasses right now, guys, because, 1 second. Because this is like, what do we do today? 3.5 hours of video? Yeah. Okay. So, Kath, these are called Tesla, everybody. So as soon as I put these on, all the eye damage stops. So the blue light, okay, what it's doing is it's frying your brain, and then your brain fries your eyes to tell you to either shut your eyes or go look somewhere else because you're frying your brain. So understand this. Eye damage is caused because of brain damage. All right? And now with Tesla glasses, they're not blue blockers. They'll actually convert all blue light and 5G hitting through my glasses into a healing, which actually heals my brain and my eyes. And if you don't believe me, go to take a look at our EMF/energy and take a look at the videos on Tesla eyewear. They're the only, Tesla invented this, and this is called a fluorine lens. Hiatal hernia. Okay, so the hiatal hernia. Okay, Kathy, I don't know if you live around here, but if you live around here, or if we're coming to the States, or I don't know where you live, but if you want to text me or call me, so I could actually go in, okay. Anybody out there who wants to come to me with a hiatal hernia, I will do this online and show people that I can reverse a hiatal hernia. If not 100%, I can reverse it, the first treatment, by about, how's 80%, in 10 minutes. There. All right? 10 minutes. Understand something. When somebody tells you this is all we can do for you, go home. Remember something. They're telling you from their mind, not my mind. Okay? They're telling you from their training, not my training. We'll offer you a money-back guarantee on your first treatment of anything that you come to us for, to prove that we can do more in that first treatment than all the other treatments, and that you are going to reverse your situation if you want to take personal action and responsibility. Valentina, I had a breast reduction 2 years ago. What can I do about the scar tissue forming? Can I clap the area? Thank you. Yes, you can. And what do you think? You know what, Valentina? If you're watching tomorrow, let's do clapping for breast surgery. Drake, can you remind me? Please tell Nat, okay? All right. So that'll be one of them, and then I'll show something else. So if somebody else wants to say something, I can do it, okay? Monica, so are cysts in the breast tissue also pus or infection? Bingo. Is this also because of the bowels? Bingo. I had some that were quite large after having my second baby 7 months ago. Oh, and what happens when we get pregnant? We get constipated. Right. Okay. They have shrunk but still are present. And understand something, Monica. We can show you how to totally get rid of them. Okay? Totally get rid of them. And let us know if you want to. You can get a consultation. I would say get a consultation with either Andrea, Hope, or Karen. Okay? And they will, and it's only $125. And they're going to show you exactly how to do it. They'll get on a video consult with you, and they'll also talk about your diet, and they'll talk about exercise and everything else. Angie, what can I do for blood pressure? I don't want to take meds as they... Okay, well, first of all, ready for this, Angie? You know what? It's like this. Dr. Wolfe only knows a little, or he knows something. I don't know. So first thing you want to do is get the daily cleansing tea and the tummy love and the black gold. Let's get the digestive tract moving, because you've got too many blocks through there, and it's mainly in the large intestine. Next thing, if you could embrace like the ultimate coffee enema, which I'll be talking about on Wednesday, or go look at the ultimate coffee enema in my perfect day guide. But Angie, why don't you get yourself on a whole plant-based diet? Better still, Angie, why don't you just try, because watermelons are out, a 6-day watermelon, nothing else. Eat watermelon, blend watermelon, and just do that for 6 days, and then tell me you have high blood pressure. And then do the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold with it. Okay? And you're not going to have it. So take a look at your digestion first, okay, love? And then start detoxifying, get rid of the blocks in your digestive tract. There are other things you can do, like curcumin cayenne 5000 is amazing for something like that. Also, are you drinking enough water? I doubt it, Angie. You're not. People think they drink water, but they don't. Angie, do 3 quarts of water. If you can make it structured water, we're on a roll. Jeanette, I have a hammer toe, so I would like to know what products to order. Well, you're going to need a clapper, and then you should order Pain Away Essential Oil. But what I would want you to do is, what are we showing tomorrow again? Oh, yeah, the breast. Okay. I showed hammer toes, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Did you put that up when I did show it? I did it as a 1 a day. Can you put the hammer toe thing that I did? I showed how to get rid of hammer toes. I need that to go into the DIY guide in the library and up on YouTube. Okay? Let me know when you've done it. Okay, Drake? All right. So go take a look at that. But you need to get yourself a clapper. And you'll see when you get in there. Get yourself some DMSO gel, and then get yourself some Pain Away Essential Oil. And believe it or not, that's all you're going to need. And if you go in, take a look at it, Drake will get it up, won't you, Drake? Okay, all right. Nellie, is Kangen water okay? Is it considered structured? It's not structured water, Nellie, but Kangen water is a good water. It's just a really overpriced device for me. Yeah. Beth, what about people with scoliosis that affects their vertebrae? Will clapping help? Yeah, it will. But I will tell you this much, that the reality is that scoliosis is mistreated so badly. Chiropractic will help it to a certain degree. But the reality is you've got to get rid of the scar tissue issue. And I will tell you that we've had some of the worst cases with scoliosis we've had so many people that had scoliosis that were told that they're going to have surgery, and we haven't had anybody go to surgery for years because of it. And yes, clapping will help. Let me see what else will help. I would also want to do the pelvic squats, pelvic activation squats. You'll see them in my do-it-yourself video, in the do-it-yourself guide in my library. Also, you want to do the pelvic expander, all right? And the reality is understand something. Scoliosis is a scar tissue issue. And as soon as you misbehave, like go and drink alcohol, drink things high in sugar, high in flour, new and improved foods, you're going to cause an acidity problem, and you're going to find you're going to be even more twisted. So the more acidic you become, the more toxic you become, the more twisted you're going to become, and you can straighten out a scoliosis, okay? We know we can. You know how many people come here, Beth, with a scoliosis, and they'll come here for personal treatment and training for 7 days. They'll fly in on a Saturday, leave on a Saturday, and they will learn the technique on how to do the whole body. That's our personal treatment and training. A husband and wife, 2 sisters, friends, a whole family. It doesn't matter. Or we'll go to you. We'll come to you. We go all around the world, and we do. We go all over the world. Julie, hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have a knot in my wrist. Could you please help me with it? Okay. All right. So a knot in your wrist. Okay. Let me see here. So right off the bat, can we see here or no? Can we see this here? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do that tomorrow. So what are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the clapping for breast surgeries.
Clapping for breast surgeries. And we'll call it carpal tunnel syndrome knot in the wrist, because it'll do both of those. Okay, so that's tomorrow. All right, we'll just do those 2. Yeah, and then tomorrow I'll pick 3 questions and we'll go through those. Aurelie, hi doctor. Are there any alternative exercises can do to avoid smoking, cut down on my marijuana? Well, really, stress is the big one. But now what happens, once you're a smoker, it's your brain that's in charge. It's your addictions that are in charge, because your brain, the first time you smoked, remember? Sore throat, coughing, because your body said, no, not good for you, because that's the way it is. So you're going to get a sore throat and coughing. Then you did a few more. Then you had a few packs. And guess what? Now you don't feel anything anymore. Body goes, nope, don't cause him to cough. Don't cause him to have a sore throat, because guess what? It must be good for him, because every time he smokes, he calms down. So every time that you feel a little stressed, your body's going to go, oh, just like when I feel stressed, I'll go connect to my Lionheart breathing, put a slight smile on my face, do the belly button therapy, or I might just do the Bioptron light. But when I was younger and I got stressed, I'd have a cigarette. So if I got stressed 20 times a day, I'd have 20 cigarettes. So that's the reality. So what are you going to do? So if you don't learn how to manage your stress, you're just going to go from one addiction to the other anyways, right? So let's take a look at what causes you to stress out. Who causes you to stress out? So now you got to change the program. So you got to bring in a new program. So what are you going to do to bring in a new program? Well, let's start eating better. Let's start drinking a lot more water, okay? Let's start making sure we're pooping better, because as we get feeling good, we don't want to give it up. When you say to somebody, how you feeling? Good. Well, they're not really. They're feeling like crap, but it's as good as it gets. Not everybody. I didn't mean everybody, but I just meant, well, a lot of the population, right? A lot of the population, because what do you have to compare to? 92% of the population have an autoimmune disease. 80% of the population is overweight or obese, for God's sakes. So what are you comparing to? Oh my God, if you're kind of just even 10 pounds overweight or 15 pounds overweight, which is not healthy, right? And you just feel kind of crappy. Well, then you're doing better than most people. So what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. That's right. I'm still standing. I'm still alive, aren't I? Isn't that what people say? What a silly thing to say, right? But it's not silly, because we're programmed. Everything is a program. Why do you think you worry all the time? Because you've been programmed to worry. Why don't I worry? Why don't I have fear? because I'm not going to be fearful. You know what? Go ahead, threaten me. See if it works. You know, people threaten all the time, whether it's your family or society. Okay, so the reality is you got to start making better choices and doing things that I love you. Tell your body you love it. And understand something. The more you've been smoking cigarettes and the more you've been toking, the bigger the hole. All right? Because, wow, it's my major belief that smoking is the main thing I do. Well, then it's probably going to be a little bit hard to quit. But the reality is what if you made a deal? What if you said, I'm not allowed to bring cigarettes in the house? What if you left them in the car and you went out to the car and then you weren't allowed to smoke on the property and you had to smoke off the property? What if you started making agreements and then holding the line? Your subconscious isn't going to like it because your subconscious now believes that smoking keeps you calm, that smoking keeps you healthy. So now you got to outsmart your subconscious. This is a whole thing. You know, we have people that come here to break all kinds of addictions, right? And a lot of it is emotional counseling, okay? And plus nutritional and the detox. Jane, my son had pneumonia at 3 and 5 years of age. Shortly after that, he developed asthma. What do you suggest? Well, the reality is this. Everything that's physical was first emotional. And I want to know what kind of terrorism was in that family, okay? What kind of father he had during the pregnancy. How much were you terrorized? Because when you have asthma, you have trouble getting your breath, okay? So what's the fear here? Take a look at it. I mean, it's really totally about fear, isn't it? A lot of this is fear. Okay, so he had pneumonia. So pneumonia is his immune system was knocked out. How many times has your son been on antibiotics? Because the antibiotics will knock out the immune system because your good bacteria are the immune system. So we know his bowels are messed up. So let's get his bowels moving, and then let's get rid of all inflammatory foods out of the house. And that means you and your husband and everybody else is not allowed to eat them. Okay, you cannot tell somebody in the house they can't have something, and then mom and dad are sneaking it. So the reality is I would suggest you get a perfect day consult on a nutritional and emotional level, because I think that this child is being terrorized on an emotional and physical level and nutritional. That's what I believe. Maureen, I get atrial fibrillation. What can I do? Again, we talked about this already, irregular heartbeat. Okay, so again, mineral problem, low oxygen problem, acidic environment. Why? Well, because maybe you're really stressed out. Do you know how many people are calling up every day here? A few people that they've got AFib. And then they go to the doctor and they go, well, we might have to put a stent in, or we might have to do this or that. No, wouldn't want to get them to calm down. Wouldn't want them to get on a whole plant-based diet or drink structured water or take SAC calcium that'll turn it around within just a few days. Wouldn't want to do that. No, couldn't do that. So anyways, understand this. Your body is gasping for alkalinity. It's gasping for oxygen. Len, hello, thank you. Love your video. I can't wear the mask. I have primary Sjogren's. Can you help me? This is an autoimmune condition in which dry eyes and dry mouth result from lymphocytic infiltration of the lacrimal and salivary glands. But understand something. Again, where are you hydrating? Are you drinking structured water and hydrating properly? You know, you should be putting maybe essential oil of cinnamon or orange or lemon in there to bring up the vibration. Let's take a look at your bowels. Let's take a look at your liver. But you've got, you know, you wouldn't have all this problem. And lymphocytic means that our lymph system's jammed up. So we know our bowels aren't working well. And your lymph system, the lymph, it's like molasses. So if you're a couch potato, if you're constipated, if you're not drinking enough water, and if you're not eating more of a whole plant-based diet, this is why this happens. So just understand something. This is not a disease. This is a symptom of not creating the perfect day for yourself. I would get a consult. Darlene, I've been diagnosed with spondylolisthesis. Okay. A slipping of vertebrae that occurs in most cases at the base of the spine. I am in pain. There's no slipping of the vertebrae. Understand that. So what happens is the disc will either thin out or it will get inflamed, and that's what we call an ulcerated or a slip disc, and it kind of tilts the vertebrae, so it looks like the vertebrae is going to come out. Understand something. I know you won't believe this, but I will tell you right now. If you want to get here, you're 82 years old, I'll work on you for free, and we'll put this on. Well, if you don't mind, we'll put this on Facebook. And I just want to show people that doesn't matter if you're 82 or 92 or 102, and that in one treatment, Dr. Wolfe is going to show you that we can reverse this. And you're going to get up and you're going to feel the difference right away. And the other thing is you're 82 years old, and understand something, and please don't get me wrong, but the large intestine sits right here. Right here. You got transverse colon just under the ribs, and then on both sides we have the ascending colon and descending, and then the sigmoid, right? And understand this. Are you ready? So why would your back blow out? Why would the disc blow out in the low back? Because you're lacking tone in your large intestine, and you're 82 years old, and you've had a bowel problem forever and a day. And the waist, do you think the waist isn't going to go and bother your spine? You think it's not going to inflame your low back? It's not going to inflame your kidneys? Yeah. Okay, so understand that. That's what we're talking about. You can, if you want, you can get a consult with one of my master consultants, and they'll be able to help you out, and we can reduce the pain. If you can afford getting on what's called Cardigan, right here. Call me, though. My extension is number 5. If we can get your bowels moving, get you on Cardigan, get you using some DMSO on your spine, and using Pain Away essential oil, and if I can get you to even do maybe a little bit of pelvic enhancer, and then take a look at your diet, I promise you will reduce the pain without you coming here. But if you can come here, I'll work on you for free. How's that? Is that a fair deal? Martin, hi doctor. I just left my doctor who says I have diverticulitis, which is constipation. And what happens is the waste sits in there and the bacteria become endobacterium, and they're very toxic, and they eat away at the lining. So if you've ever seen like a tire, it's like a bulge sticking out of the tire. That's what a diverticuli is. And they'll all heal by just cleansing out your colon. And diverticulitis is where you've got diverticuli, and the itis means inflammation. So it just means diverticulitis, inflamed diverticuli, which is basically long time chronic constipation. She's sending me to the hospital to get checked out. I need completely change my diet. Yeah, you do. What do I do? Go to my website, click on consultation, and then pick who you decide you want to go with, and I promise you that you are going to be more than satisfied, okay? It's $125. Like I said, they'll do an audio. It's an hour. They'll send it to you, and you've got free access to me and my consultants for life, okay? Because we're responsible to turn you around as long as you promise that you'll take responsibility for what we ask you to do. What do? I'll do whatever it takes to get better. I remember seeing a video in which you discussed the large intestine, prostate health, and the pouches. Yeah, you can go to How's Your Plumbing? And that's in the Daily Cleansing Tea Guide in my library. And guess what? It's 3 weeks, right? We're releasing How to Become Number 1 at the Art of Number 2. And it'll be on a Wednesday, and that's a 5 nights. That'll be on for 5 nights, approximately an hour every night, and we're going to hit this thing out of the park. And I promise you that we are going to target the biggest problem in North America, and that is your bowels. In North America, around the world, it's all about the bowels. My diet has to change, and I don't know where to start. So go to my library, click on Perfect Day, go to page 28, look from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., look at the diet. And then what I'd like you to do is go watch the videos I just said, How's Your Plumbing? And then I would suggest you get a consult and let us prove to you that we can help you. Mary, hi, Dr. Wolfe. Just wondering if breathing back the air you breathe out into the a mask can cause respiratory problems. Absolutely. I'm not doing the mask. Okay. I don't know if you saw my one-a-day yesterday. I bought one of those things that you put around. Like I have a thing. I should have brought it in because for when you're on a computer a lot, you need to cover your thyroid. So when I'm on the computer, I put this on, and it's just one of those silk things that you bring down around here. They're, and so what I do is I just pulled that up when I had to, when I went through customs, right? And that I'm not wearing no mask. So you can just, no, there's no diaper going on my face. Let me see here. And I'm not telling people not to wear a mask. I just can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not buying into this. Okay. I needed to fly. And if I need to fly, you know what? I will comply to only what I need to. Okay. All right. JJ, hello, Dr. Wolfe. Let me see here. Tomorrow on my one-a-day, I'll wear it. I'll show everybody. And that's what I would buy if you have to wear a mask. Okay. Because you can breathe really easy through this. My brother, 43-year-old, was just received a diagnosis of a stage 3 cancer after a colonoscopy. 2 MRIs. Apparently, he had a polyp that grew into a cancer mass 7 centimeters near his rectum. It has spread to his lymph nodes, possibly his prostate. He has not met with an oncologist, but has been told the prognosis is grim. A year of chemo, radiation, and surgery, please. Removing his rectum, ultimately having a colostomy bag for life. His gastro doctor suspects lichen disease given his history and wants genetic testing done. I don't believe in genetics, but go ahead. He said if he does have it, and even if there was such a thing, there was a thing called the Genome Project, where they wanted to prove that everything was genetic. They spent multi-millions of dollars, and they found out that genetics, it is so small, genetics, when it comes to disease. They didn't tell anybody they did this huge study because it was a total embarrassment, because it's actually about microcirculation, and it's actually about habits. Okay, it's called epigenetics, not genetics. So let's get that. Let's say it together. Epigenetics, which means above, which means your brain. So we're talking about your brain. So why don't you go in and rewire your brain, get rid of the dysfunctional beliefs, bring in the functional ones, and totally love and honor and respect yourself and make beautiful choices. He had testicular cancer removed about 7 years ago. Yeah, but you understand something. Cancer was not surgery was not the reason he got cancer. Okay, got it? Okay, anyways, you've heard me say it a million times. You got to go to the bowels, guys. His numbers are constantly going up and down. His oncologist has told him, well, that's just what your body's going to do. I've been praying you have some insight recommend. Okay, I got to tell you. You would not believe. I'd say we take about 4 to 6 patients on like this. Either prostate problems or testicular cancer or rectal cancer. And understand I'm working with about 4 of them right now. And we just had a gentleman here with a similar situation last week. And they're coming all the time. So the reality is there is so much you can do. Let me see here. If you want to give me a call, I will go over briefly what we will do. But I am not here to take the place, JJ, of his doctor. I'm not here to all I'm doing. Understand, I'm going to create the perfect day. I am going to show him how to get rid of scar tissue, increase circulation, increase oxygen levels, increase nutritional levels, and let the body take care of what it needs to do. We've got lots of tricks. And I don't mean to call them tricks, but we really know how to hack things to really get things moving, okay? And then if he wants to work with his doctor too, why don't we work together to create a better world? Why don't we work together to create a better healing? Angel, I'm 40, have 3 autoimmune disorders. Okay, buddy, you have 3 symptoms, okay? All right, 3 symptoms. 3 symptoms that are totally attacking your body. And autoimmune means you're attacking yourself. That's what it means. Autoimmune means the body is attacking itself, which means you're attacking yourself. It's not normal. And one is fibromyalgia. That's not an autoimmune disease. Fibromyalgia means you have pain in your muscle fibers. That is not an autoimmune disease. That is you not on a great diet, backing up your bowels, okay? And you might be a couch potato or not drinking enough water to hydrate. Who knows? But that's not true. Okay? Angel, if you want to give me a call, this you can turn this around. Okay? And I won't be able to talk to you until tomorrow. So anybody, if I said call me, you can call me tomorrow. What do I have tomorrow? We have shootings tomorrow at 1. And then we have a practitioner training at 3. So I'll only be taking calls in the morning. Okay. Cleo, what about scar tissue from breast implants? We're showing that tomorrow. Okay, so Cleo, we're showing that tomorrow, aren't we? Clei, K-L-E-I, or Cly. Can I clap the cellulite on my legs? You better do that. Come on. Cellulite is low circulation fat cells. Okay, they're cold and they've got lots of heavy metals and toxins in them. Let's get it going. You can skin brush. Okay, so really great to skin brush them. Okay, and you can also do something, but just on the areas of the cellulite, not on your whole body. You can get a cup of Epsom salts, wet it down with structured water. Put 1 teaspoon of cayenne in per cup of Epsom salts. Mix it around and then scrub the cellulite. That kind of magnesium will go in to the cellulite and it'll help to break that down. Okay, and then you can also do the clapping. And you can clap that area as long as you want. And if you start to see discoloration or a little bit of purple or bruising or black, then you know that you've got a lot of contamination in there because you didn't cause the bruising. The bruising was deep down in the tissues and it came to the surface with the clapping. And if you don't understand that, then go watch my clapping, go to my clapping guide in the library. Number 38, Majda, the dentist gave me something to wear overnight to cover my teeth for grinding. Is that healthy to sleep all night? Of course not. And understand something. You need work done on your TMJ. We talked about that already today. And today I also showed how to clap and work on your TMJ area. Majda, go look at the do-it-yourself, right? Do-it-yourself video. Today I did clapping with Nat. So that needs to go up, right? Okay, so that's going up. So you want to do that. And the other thing is, it's either anxiety and stress or it's parasites, all right? And if it's parasites, do the daily cleansing tea. And also, what I would suggest is take a look at our diatomaceous earth and start putting that in your blender drinks. Deborah, 39, how did you come up with the clapper? What does it do? And how do you know it is helping? Oh my gosh. Okay, so the reality is I've been doing it for years. And the reality is clapping helps to remove physical blocks in your body. And you would not have pain, you would not have a disease anywhere if you didn't have physical blocks. And you wouldn't have physical blocks if you didn't have emotional blocks. So clapping doesn't just help with the physical, it helps with the emotional as well. And go take a look at my Clapping Your Heart and Lungs to Health, and look at my clapping guide in my library. And in a few weeks, I promise we'll be doing the masterclass. We're just, you know what, you guys are keeping me so busy that if I wasn't so busy, we would have been doing the masterclass already. But we will get to it. Melissa, can you cover carpal tunnel syndrome as well? If you haven't before, I wake randomly with a numb arm in the night. Well, that's brachial problem. That's your shoulder problem. And what you've got is scar tissue in here. Now, put down that I'll show that's carpal tunnel. We're going to show it tomorrow, right? Also tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll show how to do the crab. Put that down and make sure Nat knows that to remind me. I'm going to show you the crab stretch that I did. And also, you want to know something? You're going to have to get yourself a clapper. And if you start clapping your neck and your vagus nerve and clap your brachial plexus, which is right here on your shoulder, and then on your shoulder girdle, and then clap your shoulder. And then also I'm going to show you how to clap your carpal tunnel syndrome tomorrow. Order a clapper. It's on my website. Just go to the store, okay? Because it's a lot of clapping for your hand. Trust me, it's really awkward. And it's only like $20 or $25, I'm not sure. Something like that. Veronica, how do I get rid of varicose veins? Well, a little bit of DMSO gel is going to help. And also using Vein Away. It's a special essential oil formula that I have called Vein Away. Okay, it's only $95, I think, for the whole bottle. It's 4 ounces. You can get smaller ones if you want to. And I don't know, and everybody, just so you know, we have our Labor Day sale on, and it's on today, and I don't know how many days it's on, but maybe that's on sale as well, so check it out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of DMSO on, and then you're going to put the Vein Away on top, okay? And if you find that like is too itchy or tingly, then do them separately. But what I want you to do is I want you to take a clapper, and I want you to clap above and below the veins, and then I want you to clap right on them. Start gentle and then go harder, deeper, longer, and understand how we get varicose veins. Whether you like it or not, you don't get varicose veins. Look at, when I'm 85, I still won't have varicose veins because, first of all, you got to be constipated, because that's what really causes varicose veins. Oh my God, Dr. Wolfe, can you be quiet? You can only talk about constipation for everything. Well, there you go. That's me. Got my head up my butt. The reality is I'm right. Okay, God never made the body to be that complicated. And okay, there's a lot of systems out there that want it to be complicated because you're too stupid to look after yourself. And guess what? That's another lie. You're not stupid. You're a genius, and there's a practitioner inside of you, and you can do this. And listen to me. I'm not wrong until I'm wrong. And if you don't want to try what I'm asking you to do, then guess what? Then I'm still right. That's how it goes. So prove me wrong. There you do. Challenge me. Okay, Veronica, how do I get rid of varicose veins? The constipation, told you how to do it. DMSO, and also do skin brushing, salt glows. Go check that out in my Healthy to 100 book. And if you want, you can get this book for free. Just call in, pay the shipping. All right? Callie, have you ever helped scoliosis? We already talked about that today. Callie, please go back and take a look where we talked about it. Okay? All right? This will be time-stamped on YouTube by tomorrow, right, Drake? Okay. And let's do scoliosis the next day. Write that down. We'll do scoliosis as a DIY, and that happens sometime in the morning, and that'll happen on Wednesday. Susan, hi, Dr. Darrell. I need to find out where I can access your arthritis tools, such as the clapper. Just go to docofdetox.com, and you can buy a clapper. You can buy a skin brush there. And like I said, go to my Healthy to 100 book, and it tells you exactly how to do it in beautiful skin, which is at the back of the book. Thank you. Linda, I would like to know if there is a statin drug that is safe to take. I'm not into drugs. I'm not a pharmacist. So as I can't seem to get my cholesterol to a healthy range, understand something. Cholesterol is made by the body. It's needed. It is a hormone. We need it. We make too much of it when we become highly acidic. So understand, get your brain and get your under control, and get into a more whole plant-based diet. Start doing the cleansing with the daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love Black Gold, and maybe do some ultimate coffee enemas. You're not going to have a cholesterol problem. You're just acidic. Now, why do you make extra cholesterol? Because it's like candle wax, and it goops the cracks in the arteries from you pulling the minerals out of those walls to try to buffer down the acidity because you're so acidic. Anna, that's why what happens is the actual lumen or the hole in the arteries becomes smaller and smaller because of the buildup of displaced calcium and cholesterol in the walls. There you go. Anna, my knees hurt. I had 2 knees done. I'm learning to walk again. What can you suggest to help? Well, I could suggest that you get the Wolfe non-surgical and we'll reverse it. That's what I would suggest. Also, get yourself some DMSO and some pain away for those knees. That's going to help as well. And also, start clapping them. Okay? That is going to help. And Drake, can you put down, we'll show knees on... We'll show knees. We'll show knees on Tuesday. What were we going to do on Tuesday? Knees now and what else?
Scoliosis.
Yeah, scoliosis and knees. There you go. That's it. It's done. Michelle, is there anything I can do to regenerate discs in the spine? I have 2 spinal fusions in the neck, which with titanium. Will 5G towers affect me worse? Oh my God, absolutely. You're a walking antenna, girl. You don't want anything. You don't want a wire bra on, for God's sakes, with 5G around you. You're going to have so much breast problems. And if you've got a steel rod in your neck, no. And understand something. I would really suggest that what you do is see a Wolfe non-surgical person so they can go in there from the surgery and just really pull the scar tissue apart so you get beautiful connective tissue. And I would get a consult. I would truly get a consult for this. Are you worth $125? Natalie, will clapping help subclavian vein compression? Okay, so that's up probably in her shoulder area. Absolutely. I have very bad 95% compression, left and 75 right from a cerebral spinal fluid leak. Okay, well, if you've got a cerebral spinal fluid leak, that means the spinal fluid is leaking, okay, from her spine. Okay, that means you have a very bad inflammation problem, and the inflammation is eating away. So let's find out where that is, and let's increase the circulation and the healing there. Why aren't we doing that? You know, you don't have to walk around with a cerebral spinal fluid leak, and then to have also a subclavian vein compression. That's just scar tissue. That's scar tissue. This is scar tissue, and you shouldn't have this. So you've made the tissue around your vertebrae into beef jerky, and it's ripped itself. And when it ripped a little bit, it caused a little rip in the lining that's protecting the spinal fluid, okay, in your spine. You should be on top of this. You know, you can come to us and see us. I know we can help you, or find somebody that you trust and go to them because you're not getting the help you need. Understand, everybody, it's a scar tissue issue. Tanya, how much do you use of essential oils and where do you put them for the breast? Okay. Tomorrow we're doing the breast work, right?
Yep.
So we're going to show it tomorrow. All right? Tiffany, what can you do for mold toxins? Well, for one thing, if you've got mold in the house, you better get rid of it. Okay? And as far as if you've taken mold toxins in, it's all about vibration. I would suggest you get a consultation because we got to learn more about this. Did you live in a toxic house? Did you eat mold? Or was it black mold? What's the situation? Okay, so depends how severe it is. But remember something, everything that I've been talking about here helps. Remember, if you can create the perfect day, you can create perfect health. All right? Yvonne, can you do clapping on every joint? Yes, you can. Judy, I was scheduled for gallbladder surgery on August the 27th. When I had previously met with my surgeon, I did not wear a mask. I mentioned to her assistant that I cannot wear a mask, and she said it was okay to explain when I arrived at the hospital after a COVID test and self-isolating until surgery. When I arrived at the hospital, I was refused surgery. Do you have any suggestions to help my gallbladder problem? Yes, get a consult. And I'll tell you something right now, whether you want to believe this or not, gallbladder problems are anger, stored anger, for one thing, on an emotional level, okay? And gallbladder problems are a diet situation. And a lot of times, you have to understand something. What is it? A lot of times you got gallstones, right? Those gallstones are made out of cholesterol, right? And if you've been on here today and watching, you know that you have excess cholesterol because of excess acidity, right? So that means you're terrorizing yourself emotionally and diet-wise, right? Okay, so the calcium, because they're made out of cholesterol and calcium, the calcium's being pulled, okay, from your bones because you're that acidic, right? So the reality is we need to take a look at your lifestyle from the minute you wake up until you go to bed. So if you don't want to get rid of your bladder, which I wouldn't do that because you're going to up the chances of having bowel cancer. And that's the God's truth. And you don't have to, you can keep your bladder if you're willing to take responsibility for your bladder. Tiffany, I've been coughing up mucus for the past 7 years. Well, then you have inflammation. You don't make mucus unless you have inflammation, and you don't have inflammation unless you have infection. Again, let's start with the bowels. Let's cleanse the bowels. Daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold. Let's go and do the ultimate coffee enema, and let's get on the Perfect Day diet page. Go to page 28 of my Perfect Day guide. Look at the way you would eat in there, okay? And then get on curcumin cayenne 5000. And then what I'd like you to do is everybody here, please start your day off and end your day with a large glass of hot water, just hot water, with nothing in it. Unless you're taking the SAC calcium, then I would tell you to put the SAC calcium in the water because it doesn't trigger your digestion. And then the other thing, Tiffany, is I would boil a quart of water, put a pinch of cayenne in, put 1 tablespoon of honey in, and squeeze 1 to 2 lemons in that quart. Put it in a thermos. It's nice and hot. So what you're going to do is boil the water. Then you're going to go and squeeze 1 to 2 lemons in. Put 1 tablespoon of honey in, 1 pinch of cayenne, shake it, and put the lid on the thermos, drink it throughout the day, all day long, and stay away from all the inflammatory food and family and friends, inflammatory family and friends. And you watch this change. But you got to clean your bowel and you got to clean that liver. Joanne, and get on curcumin cayenne 5000. Read about it, see what you think. Joanne, is there anything I can do to replace Synthroid if I can't get it in the future? I had thyroidectomy due to cancer. I'm 63 years old, female. Thank you. You'll have to talk to your doctor about that. You really will. Okay. 54, Noosing. Hi, can you please talk about lipoma? Well, lipomas are fatty little tumors, and they're believed to be where parasites like to breed, but lipomas are caused because of really bad inflammation and infection, and the liver, I believe, is part of the problem, okay? Now, lipomas will go away, and again, we're back to the colon cleansing, the liver cleansing, but we're also into the fasting. I really believe you have to fast with this, okay? And look at the advanced fasting this Wednesday when I do my show. Take it serious. Take your life serious. God gave you a body. I can't look after it. No doctor can look after it. You're responsible. You're a genius. Trust me, you are. And you can do everything you need to do except emergency care. And you're going to become an emergency if you don't take care and create the perfect day for yourself. Conscience. Hi, doctor. How many days should I fast to get rid of candida in my intestines? That's not even a question, because I'm going to tell you something. The reality is we need to take a look at the diet that you have. You know what? You want to pick the perfect day diet that you can live with, and you want to repeat that. And you got to follow guidelines. If you're 85%, you can be 15% bad. And you know what? And the reality is that people are 85% bad and 15% good. Take a look at bacteria. Did you know that over 98% of the population, their bacteria is 85% bad and only 15% good? And that's why we're so bloody sick. We keep attacking the good bacteria, which are our immune system, and it's called our second brain. So you knock out your second brain and you can't think straight anymore. Anyways, I got a few questions here, and we're going to finish these off, I hope. And I did them all. I did 52 questions here, and we did these. And then we're all caught up, and then we'll start from tomorrow. And I'm going to start because I can't keep up. You guys, I will try to keep up. So I will keep up. All right. Beth, please explain red lips being sign of overactive stomach. How would you remedy this? Can the black gold baking soda combo be used on teeth every day? Yes, it can. Is it hard on tooth enamel? No, it's not. Thank you very much. So the overactive stomach is a stomach that is in fight or flight. So every time you stress out, okay, you are dumping acid into your stomach. And the more that you dump acid into your stomach, the more inflamed your stomach will come, and the more mucus that you'll build up in your stomach until you'll have really bad stomach problems. And you'll even get bacterial problems. So stress is the big one, not food combining properly, okay? And of course, taking in inflammatory foods, right? So food combining is a big one too, like taking a starch and a protein together, drinking alcohol at your meal, okay? Drinking too much water at your meal, all right? So those are just a few things. Nori, Dr. Wolfe, how does black gold work? It changed my intestines for the profound better. Black gold goes through the whole digestive tract, right from your mouth to right out your rectum, but all the way through the 30 feet. What it's actually doing is it's delivering some nutrients to the body, but what it's really doing is it's also absorbing, okay, heavy metals and toxicity throughout the body. But when it actually gets to the large intestine, it is actually a foundation that your bacteria live on. And when they live on this, it strengthens them. And understand something. Mummy's bacteria, we have a product called Forever Flora, which is a really good pre-post bacteria. And people, it really helps them, especially when they want to turn their intestine. But understand something. It doesn't stay and it doesn't live. It just helps promote. Mummy's bacteria, everybody's got at least one little bacteria from Mummy still. And if you've got one, you can have trillions if you do like daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold together. I'm serious. It'll come back. And even people, if they don't want to change their diet, my gosh, if you can just get your husband or whoever just to start with that and then to drink more water. And if it's structured, all the better. Okay? Wayne, what are your thoughts on fasting for tumors and growths? That would depend on a person. Are they underweight? How much stress are they under? Do they feel like they're going to die? Because I got cancer, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. What you focus on, if you can focus on your body eating up the tumor, eating up the cancer, focus on that you are unconditional love and that which created you, God Almighty, loves you, and you're not a failure, you're not a sinner, you're not guilty. You got to bring your vibration up. And you know what? If you can fast without working, when you've got cancer, that's enough work. So if you can fast without working and you can know how to do the Lionheart breathing, okay? 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, do the mirror work. And I would suggest that there's no problem in fasting. Are you going to have a slight smile on your face? Do the Lionheart breathing. Are you going to connect to your breath and talk about how beautiful life is and that you're already healed? Then you could probably do it. But if you're underweight and you're burning up, okay, and you're in a relationship and you've been in the same relationship for 20, 30 years and you're as miserable as crap, then I wouldn't do it because you're not going to make it. And I'll tell you something right now. I see so many cancer patients that are in dysfunctional relationships that will start to get well, but then they just fall right back. Okay? I'm sorry, but a toxic relationship, you can never get well in a toxic relationship. So until you're going to love, honor, and respect yourself and demand that from others, then you're not going to heal because you can't bring your vibration up high enough to do it. How much tummy tea? Well, it's called daily cleansing tea, love. How much daily cleansing tea should I take daily? Well, 8 ounces in the morning and 8 ounces at night. And But when you start, you do 4 ounces in the morning, 4 ounces at night for 3 days. Then go to 8 ounces in the morning, 8 ounces at night. It takes 2 tea bags to make 1 gallon. Okay? You bring a gallon of water to a boil. Once it boils, turn off the burner. Put 2 tea bags in, put a lid on. And then let it steep for 8 to 10 hours. Put it in the fridge with the tea bags. And then start off with 4 ounces for 3 days, and then go to 8 ounces twice a day. And understand, depending on your emotions, depending on your diet, will depend on how much tea you need twice a day. Some people need to make a 3-bag tea when their bowel is so missing so much tone and it's just laying inside, it's prolapsed. And it depends how stogged up it is. All right? So some will need that, and some will even need like 8 ounces in the morning, 8 ounces at night, and a kicker of 4 ounces in the afternoon. You want to have 2 to 3 bowel movements for the first 4 to 6 weeks. It just like maybe like a cow plop, not diarrhea, but just kind of loose. And then you want it to come to that banana shape, 7 inches, and you want to have at least 2 or 3 of those a day. And if you have that, then you'll have amazing health forever. You really, truly will. Because your bowels are a computer printout, all right? And don't forget, 3 weeks we will be doing how to become number 1 at the art of number 2. What about 13-year-old and 7-year-old? You got to go by their weight. So if we looked at 150 pounds for 8 ounces twice a day for that person, let's say they were 75 pounds, you'd do 4 ounces twice a day, and then just monitor the person and go up and down like a sliding scale until you perfect the art of pooing, okay? And daily cleansing tea should be taken every day for the rest of your life. Come on, it's inexpensive. And guess what? The Royal Society of Medicine says it takes care of 85% of all your physical problems, and I believe it does way more. That's your compost, that's your garden, that's your immune system. Hi from Australia. Is it safe to do a watermelon water fast on metformin? I take 500 milligrams twice a day, PCOS. I would go and ask, why don't you ask your doctor how he feels about it, okay? All right? When it comes to medications, I let the doctors take care of that because that's what they're good at. Katia, hello, Dr. Wolfe. I have learned, you know what? Why don't you do 1 day and then maybe do 2 days? I could say that you could do 3 days with probably no problem, but please ask your doctor. I don't know how far else I would take it. It depends on your condition. Did you ever notice something? One person has stage 3 cancer and they turn it around. The other person has the same cancer, but they don't turn it around. It takes them down. Why? Because personality creates your reality. Okay. And also your environment. What's the environment like around your home? What's it like around your neighborhood? Okay. Katia, hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have learned from you that doctors and surgeries are for life-threatening situations only. What can someone do instead of surgery when they have been told they are supposed to urgently have their gallbladder or appendix removed? Well, you know what? That's between you and your doctor. And you just said it's for emergencies. And the reality is this. I'm not trying to take the place of your doctor. I'm trying to tell you I'm here to help you create the perfect day on an emotional and physical level. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not pretending to be one. I do what I do, and they do what they do, and they're great at it. Okay? What can someone do instead of surgery when they have been told are supposed... Okay, we already did that. Especially if it reached a point where they now have an infection. What is a much better alternative in that situation? Well, the reality is that we can always bring an infection down. We need to find the source of it. So let's take a look at your bowel. And you just told me that it was an appendix problem. And it was probably your bowel that was causing the appendix and the gallbladder problem. Angelica, hi, Dr. Wolfe. Would you please talk about eliminating aggressive allergies like peanuts or seafood? Well, the reality is I don't know. Once you have an allergy, you have to understand something. Allergies are first, and I know people don't want to believe this, but we weren't always allergic to seafood. We weren't always allergic to peanuts. It's because our immune systems are dropping all around the world, mainly in North America. I mean, North Americans are some of the sickest people on the planet, right? We take, right now, did you know that in North America, we eat 62% of all prescription drugs made? Isn't that something to be proud of? Okay, so where were we here? So as far as the seafood thing, well, you know what? Nobody should be eating shellfish. Shellfish like lobster, like crab, like oysters, like clams, they live at the bottom. They're the garbage collectors. I mean, when you boil these things before you cook them, they smell like poop. They smell like rotten garbage. There could be a clue there. So eat them and you're not going to be in great shape if you do that. So that's the seafood part. As far as the peanuts, I think you said peanuts. Yeah, peanuts aren't nuts. Did you know that? They're legumes. And, I don't know what to say about that. I just know that we're just not as healthy as we used to be. And we're going to continually go downhill until we can't stop corporations and government from poisoning us. So we have to protect ourselves and our families and our homes. And we have to say no more. And you got to quit bringing crap into the house. Quit bringing crap into your house and putting it in your fridge and into the cupboards and then telling the kids not to eat it. Wow. Go figure. Okay. Yvette, hi doctor. 2 things. I've been putting the weight balance oil on my salad. Is this okay? And can you explain about your True Essence essential oil and more about weight balance, please? Thank you. The weight balance essential oil should actually be rubbed on the palm, on the inner part of your palms and wrist, in between here, in your elbow right here, neck area. You can rub it on the area of your groin area, inner groin. Okay, but those are the best places for it. If you want to put something on your salads, why don't you put lemon? Don't put the weight balance. You're fine, but it's not meant to be put on your salads, okay? All right, believe it or not, we just did, okay, all the questions. What do you think of that, Drake? Yeah, 10 to 5, and I think we did 62 questions today. So let me just go over everything again, everybody. So Wednesday, September the 2nd, I'm going to be doing a 6-day advanced water fasting challenge preview Q&A. I'm going to go over and show some slides, talk about why we fast, how we fast, what we do to get the most out of a fast, and then what's going to happen, okay, on September the 10th is at 10 a.m., which is a Thursday, and then on Friday at 10 a.m., then we take a weekend break, and then I do Monday and Tuesday, okay? That'll be 4 days of me coming on at 10 o'clock to answer all your fasting questions. But I'm going to be doing an hour and a half on Wednesday, this Wednesday, on how to do the art of advanced water fasting. And understand, be a spectator. Do it for 1 day. Do it for 2 days. Even go longer than 6. Just know that I'm here to support you. And let me tell you something, and you need to get this. I don't care what people think anymore, okay? Because they can banter all they want. But you know what? You are family. All right? Whether you want to believe this or not, we are all spiritually connected. We all, when we leave here, we go back to the same place. I don't know if we come back here like everybody says and back and forth. Everybody makes up their own rules. But the reality is, I know we're connected. I know that when I think about something and the phone rings and they're on the phone. I know that when I think about somebody and I bump into them, I know that when I'm thinking about somebody and I feel like I need to call them, they go, wow, I'm so glad you called. We are connected, and we are connected to everybody. We're connected to the people that we bomb. We're connected to the people that we steal from, that we lie from, that we cheat. We're connected to everyone we love, and we're connected to everyone we hate. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I was asked to speak at a huge rally, and it's going to happen September the 13th in Vancouver. And I said, yes, I'll come and speak, but I'm not going to talk about political things. I'll come and I'll speak, and it's going to be about vaccinations. It's going to be about everything that's going down right now. But I'm going to speak about one thing: unconditional love for ourselves and our brothers and our sisters and our enemies. And understand something. I'm not telling you to invite people into your home that don't match your beliefs. But for God's sakes, let's stop hating. Let's stop hating. I hate this. I hate that. I hate you. I hate them. We can't hate anyone. But we can definitely stop buying and giving people our money that are poisoning us. And we you know what we can do? When somebody gives me a rule and says, do this, Darrell, I say, I'm not doing it. Who do you think you are? I don't care if it's government. I don't care if it's the police, or anybody. If it's totally stupid, okay, or if it goes against my God-given rights as a human being, I'm not going to do it. Oh, you're going to fine me? Wow, okay, sure, whatever. Then do it. Now, why am I talking about this? Because that's what keeps me healthy, is holding the line. You know when somebody is so full of fear, so full of anxiety, when they've got cancer, when they've got an autoimmune disease, which means you're attacking yourself, which means somewhere on a subconscious level you must hate yourself. God knows I know that when I didn't feel good, that I used to hate myself, and I didn't even know I did. I thought I was just a nice guy. That's what I thought. But you know what? Until you really start challenging what you're thinking, what you're drinking, what you're eating, how you're treating yourself and your family and the rest of the world, no one will ever force me to hate anyone. And nobody's ever going to force me, okay, to hurt anyone. And if I do, I apologize. But understand something. I have an opinion just like everyone else. And I don't know why people think that when I come on and my opinion doesn't match theirs, that they can just banter at me. That's not going to happen either. And I'll tell you what happens. A guy like me, tell me I don't push people's buttons. Well, why are you on here? You know, if you don't want me pushing your buttons, if you don't want me challenging you, if you don't want to see things different, then why are they ever going to be different? And if we don't challenge authority, and if we don't challenge ourselves and everyone else, then how are we ever going to grow? We only grow consciously, and wouldn't you want to be a super conscious person? God knows I do. God bless. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful day. And just know that it's been a pleasure to be here for you, and I'll be here for you as much as I can, as long as I can. Take care. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.